We have some new information on Assassin's Creed Red. Now, Ubisoft did a bit of a mad one last year within September of 2022 when I think it was Ubisoft Forward, where Ubisoft announced Assassin's Creed Mirage, which has now already been released. And then they also announced Assassin's Creed Codename Red, Assassin's Creed Codename Hex, Assassin's Creed Codename Infinity, also Assassin's Creed Codename Jade. Now, they went a bit mad, and then after this, there was also following leaks to suggest that there were even more Assassin's Creeds in the works. I believe there ended up being like 9 that ended up being part of those leaks. Now, with this, we've had even more recent leaks to go a bit deeper, because what was announced back then was really just the beginning. We got an announcement trailer to say that these are in the works. Now we're starting to get a lot more information, and in today's video, we're going to be going through what we currently know about Assassin's Creed Codename Red. Now this is actually interesting because Codename Red is going to be probably the most anticipated Assassin's Creed ever. There's always been something that fans have wanted to do within the series ever since the release of Assassin's Creed back in 2007, and at some point Ubisoft said that they were never going to do this, but now we've come full circle. They've pretty much explored everywhere else that they thought they could go and explore, and now we're coming back around to this point because Assassin's Creed Codename Red is going to be set within Japan. The reason that Ubisoft never actually wanted to go down this route is because most people wanted to go for this ninja style, and Ubisoft highlighted that ninjas and assassins are two completely different things, and they didn't want to go down this stereotype that assassins are ninjas. So they decided that they were never going to do it. But in the exact same context, they also said that there were other places that they could never really do, such as Egypt. And this was back in the early 2010s, I believe, when Ubisoft was saying this. But of course, we've now gone to Egypt, and potentially with that branching out to Egypt, realizing that it does actually work with the new style of their RPG format, that they could also go to Japan. And luckily, they are doing this. This is the exact route that they are taking, which does mean that for fans that have been waiting for this for the longest possible time are now really excited. And with this, we should also expand upon a point that I just made. There's been this back and forth. And in fact, Ubisoft has sort of split the Assassin's Creed community right down the middle, because there's those, such as myself, who have been playing since the very first game. We've been stuck in that linear storyline about 20 to 30 hours in length, and just having these fairly small locations that are just densely built up. But with Assassin's Creed Origins, Ubisoft took it in the other direction, going for more of an RPG, much more open world, not as dense because they've really tried to increase the scale, and then story lengths are going to be a lot longer. This seems a bit of a mix because we did have Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, which fit this format, and then Ubisoft went back to the original format as before with Assassin's Creed Mirage, but with Assassin's Creed Codename Red, it's now going back to the second previous format, being an RPG, and then after Assassin's Creed Codename Red, I believe it is Hex, where it's going to a completely different format, unlike anything we've ever seen before. And then Assassin's Creed Codename Invictus, which is also completely different to anything we've seen before because that is a multiplayer. The whole format is all over the place, but this is something that many people believe is going to fit the Assassin's Creed Codename Red extremely well. Most people don't see this as something that could do well if it was just a straightforward linear story. More of an RPG, massive open world is going to be better. And based on the leaks that we've had recently, it said that Codename Red is going to be bigger than Valhalla, but then smaller than Odyssey. This is in terms of map size, and that could be somewhat hard to judge. So it's going to be bigger than Valhalla, but in terms of Odyssey had a lot of water, and we can't really class that as just things to explore because there was next to nothing to actually do out there. My hope with this is if it is going to be to a similar scale as what we had with Valhalla, then please, you just need to go and actually have some things to do. In a lot of Valhalla, it was the case where there wasn't too many landmarks. You were just jumping across farm fields and just empty space, going across the grassy hills, and there wasn't really too much to do. Unlike what we've had in previous years with Assassin's Creed, in fact, Ubisoft have only ever done this once. You will be able to select multiple characters, and not in this traditional sense like we had with Odyssey, where you can go and either go Alexios or Cassandra right at the beginning, but instead you will be able to have a sort of Jacob and Evie Fry type of feel where you can switch between them. The characters, we don't actually know who they are, what their names are, but we do know that it'll be a male and also a female. We also know that one is going to be this shinobi and then the other one is going to be a samurai. Similar to the likes of what we had with Assassin's Creed Syndicate, both of these will have different playstyles. How you go and use them will be for a variety of different missions. They will have their own individual stories, but there's also going to be that main story arc that goes all the way through the game. It's just, it breaks off and goes into pieces with certain parts of which character you select, which missions you go through, because each will be able to build different relationships. And then with that, they'll get a variety of different missions. So you can then switch between them, upgrade them independently. So they both have that skill tree, but then you have the option of what type of playstyle you have, rather than just building this massive skill tree, which we had with Valhalla, which in my opinion, it was massive. It was a lot of work to go through. What's also very interesting is the new style of gameplay, because this, of course, is still going to be taking the same Assassin's Creed approach. And there's going to be a lot of mechanics that we've seen in Mirage, Valhalla, Odyssey, Origins, and even some of the previous titles, which are going to be brought in to Assassin's Creed Codename Red, because at the end of the day, it is still Assassin's Creed, but it does appear that stealth is going to play a much bigger part. And with the recent leaks, it's going to go far deeper than what we've seen before. So one mechanic that we've seen quite frequently in most Assassin's Creed in recent years, where you will be able to go into tall grass, and then from there, you will immediately crouch down and you will be hidden. With what's been leaked within Assassin's Creed Codename Red, there's going to be shorter grass. We're talking maybe like that. And then what you will be able to do for the first time ever is to lay down, go prone, and be able to crawl through there whilst also remaining hidden. This is pretty cool, but to take it a step further, there will also be dark spots. Dark spots being any type of shadow, really. And you can hide within the shadows without being detected, so that you're not always going to need this tall grass or short grass, or for there to be any cover. If there's a shadow, you will be able to blend in. You'll be hidden. No one will be able to see you unless they get close enough or they come round with some light source. Another bit of information that also came out alongside these leaks is really to do with gameplay. Just like with any Assassin's Creed game, there comes a point where you get into either a boss battle, if it's like the terms of RPGs, or potentially you come up to a part within the story where you need to assassinate someone. There is someone that you need to take down. Now, in most of these cases, it comes down to you beating them and then going into a cutscene for you to finally kill them, or for you to take the approach that you want to take and assassinate them. Well, with what's been reported within Assassin's Creed Codename Red, now you're going to have a bit of an option. That boss battle will still take place, or that assassin mission will still take place, where you need to pick your options of how you're going to approach this. We're still not 100% sure how it's going to work, but you will get to a point where you need to take someone down, where you're given the option to kill or to let them live. Now, by doing this, if you kill them, it's done, it's over. But if you let them live, they will now become a spy for you. Now, what this involves, we're not actually too sure. They might become a spy and you might just get a little bit of information such as, hey, there's an entrance to this place over here. Just go there, which may be valuable, or we can get dedicated missions by keeping them alive. This also opens up, I guess, a risk reward system in a way, where if you do let them live, and then they may just turn around and try and stab you in the back. Go for a second round, and this time they're not going to let you live to be a spy. They're going to try and take you down and kill you. So this could link into a bit more of a story element, a risk reward system as said, But as of right now, we don't know. We just know that you will be able to have this option, whether or not to kill or to let them live and become a spy for you. Now, this is what we know currently about Assassin's Creed Codename Red. Release date hasn't been set. We haven't even got a full official trailer to show us any cinematic or gameplay. We still just have the reveal trailer from what was released in 2022. It's expected that release date will be 2024, potentially 2025. We know it is the next one to release. And we also know, based on what Ubisoft released with Assassin's Creed Mirage, that there is no DLC, there is no additional story content, because Mirage was intended to be DLC for Valhalla until they decided that they were going to expand upon it and just make it its own set release. So we have nothing between now and whatever the expected timeline is for Assassin's Creed Codename Red. But Ubisoft being Ubisoft, them laying off quite a lot of staff and also going all in on Assassin's Creed because their other projects really aren't doing that well. We know that they're gonna be putting this as a priority. They want to get this out. Anyway, that is what we know right now for Assassin's Creed Codename Red. It's sounded exciting, but it's also Ubisoft, so we can't get too far ahead. But with that, whenever new information is revealed, I'll be sure to keep you updated here on this channel. If you enjoyed this video and you want to know a bit more about a game which is close to being officially announced, probably the most anticipated game ever. In fact, it's not probably, it's definitely the most anticipated game ever. Then I recommend clicking this video right here. GTA 6 is going to get its first trailer next month at the time recording this video, and this video includes everything that we know so far. So click that and I'll be over there to guide you through absolutely everything.